Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And today we're going to talk about the Dungeons and Dragons fighter and their second wind. So what I want you to do is I want you to turn to the Player's Handbook. Now on page 72 of the Player's Handbook there is a section that discusses and talks about the second wind. It's very, very simple. It's actually only just a couple of sentences and it reads as such. You have a limited well of stamina that you can draw on to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10, which is a 10-sided dice, plus your fighter level. Not your character level, but your fighter level, so it's dependent on that. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. So very, very simple, not very difficult to understand. So why do we even have to go into it at all whatsoever? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through it and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the sage advice that has been provided by Jeremy Crawford and Mike Mills. So first off, if we're starting off in a castle and our fighter is trying to fight its way into a gnoll castle, the gnolls have taken over and they've taken a bit of damage because they're up close and they're dealing with spears and so forth, and it's needing to start regaining a few hit points, you can do so. So you can make an attack with your action, you can move if you needed to move, and you can also use your bonus action to take that second wind because that's what it's there for. So roll a 10-sided dice. 10-sided dice. I rolled a 8 and you're going to take that 8 and add that to the modifier for your level, which is only 1 in this case. So 8 plus 1 equals 9. And that is how many hit points you regain. Now, no matter how you use this feature, you can never regain more hit points than you have as a maximum. So if you're going to wind up with more hit points back than you would normally have, then it doesn't work that way and it's not going to help you. Okay, so if I was a level 3 fighter, it changes. So I'm not adding a 10-sided dice to 1, I'm adding a 10-sided dice to 3 because that's my fighter level. So I roll my 10-sided dice. I rolled a 1 in this case. It's not very good this time. So 3 plus 1 comes to 4. And there we go. That's how many hit points we get back through using our bonus action. So you can see it's a very good feature. It's something that you should certainly consider using. Don't forget that you have it. Now, a couple of questions that can come up with sage advice that have been talked about in the past. So second wind can be used out of combat. So it definitely states in the book that it's on your turn. And there's been a few arguments between dungeon masters and players, and even I have had to wrestle with this before, but you can use second wind outside of combat, which means it won't be done on your turn. It is indicated by Mike Mills and Sage Advice for those of you who are wondering where that information came from. And for those of you who are wondering, what about the durable feat? Does it affect how you use your second wind? No, it doesn't. The durable feat does not affect the way that second wind works. Second wind still works exactly the same way I just described, and this is because second wind does not use up hit dice. Now, that's another question that people tend to have, and that is, do I actually wind up using up my hit dice when I use a second wind? No, because there's no hit dice used whatsoever. It is a feature for the fighter. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. I have plenty of videos on how to use a fighter and the basics for Dungeons and Dragons combat, so feel free to go and check out those videos, whether you are a player or a dungeon master. I have a Patreon page if you want to support the channel. I also have an affiliate links down in the description to the book depository and Amazon, where you can go and buy stuff and help support the channel. So I keep doing things like this. Please share, like, and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell button if you want to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. And in the case of second wind, you probably want to try and roll a 10 on that 10-sided dice.